back, guys.
Welcome back to Life.
Yes, sorry we
are
had you guys
covering
waiting.
Life Live. Yeah, sorry we had you guys waiting. But welcome back to the DCityLife sisters take on everything.
I was about to say the same thing.
And pretty much everything. So
anyway, so yes. First, I want to say, make sure that you like, share this video, and subscribe. Look in the description below and follow us. Let me get my lips together. Look in the description below and follow us on all of our social medias.
Yes.
They're in the description below. And get in the comments. We want to know what y'all think about these topics we're about to talk about. Because
oh my goodness,
we have to retouch on something that we already talked about. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, so you already said where you can find us. Did you say that?
Yeah, our links are in the description below. Subscribe to DCityLife Sisters, and also why can't I talk today? Also subscribe to Yes, I'm a Unicorn here on YouTube. And I also, for those of you who are into fitness, healthy eating tips, weight loss management over 40. I mean, my link is in the description below for By Demita Joe. And we're going to talk about that kind of stuff over there. So any women over 40, come on over and subscribe to By Demita Joe so we can, keep moving along our health journey. Okay?
We got a little co-host over here.
I'm going to have to talk to my co-host. This is the co-producer, actually.
Yes, he's doing the
part of production.
No, but yeah, there was so much to talk about this week that we just got to jump right into it. So I don't know if everybody heard about the Usher Lovers and Friends Festival. I think that's what it's called, a festival. And, there was some drama in the beginning about, because it was Chris Brown's birthday. It was a skate party. And
that's right. They both skate.
It's interesting to me because I, on the one hand, could see how, these things happen. People have misunderstandings and they turn physical. But the idea that the two of them will find themselves in such a predicament, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right.
Yes.
That was just wild to me. But I'm not saying, I do think there's probably some truth to it. But I also feel like if it was me, I wouldn't want it to get out. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if I was the one who like, so rumors, word on the street is that Usher did get, harmed or something in the process.
Like, yeah, I thought I heard Tasha K say he did get beat up and he was embarrassed.
I would be too, but I would even be embarrassed if I was on the other side of it too. If I had to say, like, and we're not saying Chris Brown beat him up, but like if I had to say, oh yeah, my people beat Usher.
I got beat up at the Chris Brown joke.
My people beat. If you were Chris Brown too, and you were like,
Usher got beat up at my event. Yeah, that is. That's like Beyonce getting beat up somewhere.
It's like
weird. No, it's not. It's not like Beyonce.
It's not, but it's weird though because I wouldn't want anybody.
I mean, just as a regular person, it's embarrassing. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't want anybody to know that I was involved in such a circumstance. But I understand how it happens, but at the same time, I'm like, dang, I know they wish it would just go away.
Of course. So I didn't look any further into it since we last talked, but I did watch that little snippet of it. Well, it's not even a snippet. It was like a 20-minute video from Tasha K, and she was saying that there were NDAs signed, and like people aren't, nobody should be able to share the footage and stuff like that. So I guess that's why we don't have that. But yeah, like has Usher spoken out about it?
I haven't heard anything. And it would be like that for me too, because like once I realized like they weren't addressing it in the media, I was like, oh, they probably just want to go away. In fact, Chris Brown performed on the stage as scheduled in this like Usher's production where he has all these stages of performances. And so I was like, okay, that happened then. Apparently Chris Brown's people got into something later that night that looked like but it's like at some point,
I mean, Chris Brown is a high head, but it wasn't even him though. It was his people. So I would just have to imagine that they might be high head too. But like, how do you beat up Usher though? Like, that's the part.
It feels like a mistake. Whoever did that, You gotta feel bad about that. You know what I'm saying?
What the heck?
You gotta feel bad about that. Like, oh yeah, you gotta feel bad about that. I don't even want to bring that. I just had an idea of something that I was gonna compare it to, but it's not that serious. But I definitely.
I can only imagine.
I'm gonna tell you after the show, but I don't want to. You know, whatever. Anyway, that's what happened there. We're hoping he's okay. I'm doing this annoying there, but I'm hearing a lot of stuff about Jamie Foxx, and I just hope he's okay.
Yes. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with that because there's so many different conflicting reports. Like I thought I heard that he was that a family member had said something about him doing better and was going to be home recovering.
Yeah.
But then there was the different story today, I guess, or whatever. And I mean, everybody's like, saying prayers. And the crazy thing is, I had just begun to watch a video of Jamie Foxx, and I had like my Alexa playing like a playlist all day.
Man.
And the crazy thing is, his song came on as soon as the dude played a song on the video, and as soon as that went off, I had a song of his. I said, "That's crazy." I was playing at the same time as I'm watching the video about him or whatever. But anyway,
man, so I just wanted to say, I hope he's okay too,
because
I love him too. Somebody was saying like he might be. I don't want to be spreading rumors because there's no people pointing to facts about anything. But I just hope he's okay, and I just remember so many points of his career that were so exciting, like obviously Ray was an amazing accomplishment.
The Jamie Foxx show was bomb.
The Jamie Foxx show, the white rice jump. Okay, we gotta talk about plain white rice. That was like, if you've never seen that Jamie Foxx clip from the Jamie Foxx show, look up plain white rice, Jamie Foxx, and it's so funny because he's like impersonating different people singing the same lyrics. It's hilarious. But anyway, yes, please, you can YouTube it or something. I'm sure it'll come right up. But like, not only that, but like he did Ray. He was super funny on In Living Color. He did all of these movies. Like I forgot about all the movies. And when that album came out, okay, let's just talk about this. Okay, when that first R&B album came out, what was it titled? I don't even remember. But there were so many bangers on that first Jamie Foxx. Actually, he might have had an album out in the 90s too when he was doing comedy. Remember he was touring comedy?
So I remember when, I don't know.
He used to do these bomb comedy specials when he would play piano.
XM podcast though. Well, not even a podcast. I guess that was a version of a podcast back then.
I guess.
He played music, he talked and everything.
Satellite radio show, whatever. But anyway, when that album came out, let me just finish this. I remember it has so many bangers on that joint. It was like, I want to say it was something like maybe 15 songs. I got to look up the name of it. Was it called Unpredictable?
I think it was Unpredictable.
Okay, that was a smash. To this day, when I hear that song with Ludacris on it, you just can't not love that. This song is bomb. Anyway, I'm not saying all of this to say that, let's hold him in high memory because hopefully he has lots more years to go. But I was just thinking about how important he has been in the pop comedy culture.
What the reason was that he was in the hospital? Because it was like,
well, I think they probably know, but
they haven't officially put it out. Yeah.
But they did say something about canceling all his projects for the rest of the year. Like they're going forward with projects that he had already had scheduled out to work on, and so that's not good. But it's also like we don't know what's going to happen.
I mean, I just do want to not good though because couldn't you imagine the break that he probably needs? Like the break that he probably needs, right? And so he's
from working.
From working, and he got sick. So, like, even if he's going to be better, it would still be smart to cancel the rest of the. It's only like 7 more months left, right?
True.
He got to be able to chill for that long, but I hope everything goes.
Man, I'm praying for this man because I just wanted to say how he's not no regular degular. Like he is like quadruply talented. Like he can act, he can sing, he's does funny. Comedy. You know what I'm saying? He does business. He does commercials. He did a couple action films. I feel like.
Right? He did. I can't remember
Any Given Sunday.
Yeah. I can't remember all of his movies, but I know I watched them. I especially watched Any Given Sunday.
Oh my God! So anyway, shout out to Jamie Foxx. Shout out to his family. We're so rooting for you. So
I'm gonna keep an eye out for that story or whatever because it's like. It's crazy because it's like the good people be the ones that get into like the hospital or like just What are you eating over there? You hit your head.
It was two people who could pull through the. I'm gonna think about this positively because I remember when I heard about Kevin Hart in that accident, and he came out of that jump. And when I seen that car that he was in, I was like, oh, I was so glad he came out of that joint. And then I got scared when Tiger Woods got in that accident. So grateful that they pulled through all right. And even Tiger Woods went on to win another Masters after that happened, which was unheard of. They were like, he might never walk the same again. He might never do this again. He went and won another award after that. So that, anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm hoping that Jamie Foxx goes through.
First of all, Jamie Foxx. That's all we were trying to say with that because I don't know, but I am going to look up that white rice.
Plain white rice.
I'm definitely. It was
the jingle so funny. Off. Yeah, the jingle off. Yeah. And that lady actually sings with En Vogue now.
Does she?
Yes.
I didn't know that. What's
yes, she's like the fourth member of En Vogue. I don't know, but if you look up En Vogue, there's the three without Dawn Robinson. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Okay, so whichever three, they've just been there from beginning to end. They have to have been out for about 35 years now. En Vogue, and they're still performing. They're
still performing. New Edition is still performing. People were talking about Bobby and how tired he looked or whatever. But I'm like, shoot, he's still getting up there and doing it. I gotta respect that. And Ronnie and Shamari DeVoe on couples retreat this season again, and so that was pretty interesting. I don't know if you start watching that yet. It's only been
I haven't seen Couples Retreat, and I haven't seen College Hill with these celebrities they put on there. So
is that the Summer House one, the one with all the all black cast?
We were watching Summer House.
So that's not College Hill. College Hill's back.
They're doing a College Hill with celebrities. So last season, I think they had like
I did see
they
that.
got New York
about that?
And
it's on already.
I just seen a clip today. I didn't see it on TV. I saw it online.
I forgot about this.
New York is on there and Jocelyn is on there. And they get into it. And people in the comments was like, why did Jocelyn try her? She tried the wrong one. New York is not to be
she's
but
just
it's
like
funny.
her. So like no.
Yeah. I gotta watch that because I didn't even watch the first one, but I knew that like
I did, but it's been so long.
That I like were on there. So I wanted to go back and look at it.
Okay, so I did see that.
How in the world is she doing that?
What happened?
Oh,
I don't see nothing happening. Sorry, the life of having pets. They're pet cousins, and they do understand they're pet cousins, but they both bad. Like, don't drop nothing on the floor because somebody's gonna get it with the quickness. What was she doing?
Somehow she had grabbed the cord under the door and was
and you can see it moving from over there. She like, look, I'm trying to get out of here.
I don't know. Okay, listen. She's wild. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next topic, which also, I was going to segue by saying health, but because we were talking about like Jamie Foxx getting better, but got to talk about this COVID testing stuff.
Oh.
Now, I wish I could put like overlays on the screen, but I can't do that at the same time. It's different when we're in front of the computer, but when we're sitting here, I have to be in this moment. So
she has a perfect setup.
So you're gonna have to Google it, but you can easily Google it.
I'm kind of mess her up with when we do it out here.
So you can easily Google what's happening with COVID testing. Now, here's what I heard on the news this morning when I was, getting ready for work. Number one, COVID testing is still okay. So the COVID test that the government was sending out. That for free, they're no longer going to be sending them drinks out for free. Okay, so there's that. So whenever they run out, I guess I don't even know if it's whenever they run out. They might be stopping doing that now. But I also heard that on the news that the COVID tests or actually the COVID vaccine that is in stock right now in the pharmacies where you can go and get your, you can get your vaccine. They're like, whatever they have now will be free until it runs out. After it runs out, then it's not going to be free anymore, right? So basically, we have till the end of the summer until the vaccine's no longer going to be free. Okay, so that's interesting. And then it said something about you don't have to test to fly anymore, or something like that. Now that
all the restrictions have been lifted, pretty much, right?
Pretty much. Now I'm okay with that, but I thought what was interesting is that they didn't say they're not available. They said they're no longer free.
Okay.
So the test kits that we were getting from the government for free are no longer going to be free. I guess you could probably still get a test kit, but you're going to have to pay for it. And then if you want the vaccine, you're probably going to have to pay for it. And even some of the laws now, I'm real, I don't know what each insurance company is going to do, but a lot of the insurance companies are not going to cover some of the things that they were covering before. So I think you could get a test through your insurance, and now you're gonna, have to find another way to pay. But yeah, so I just thought that was interesting.
Gone,
but we don't know about all the insurance companies. I just heard that that's the gist of it. But I just gotta talk about that because I mean, not to put my tinfoil hat on, but it's really interesting that we went through this a few years ago. We all were waiting for this part where it was like, I can't wait till this is finally over.
We thought it was over.
It looks like it's over.
And then it came back with a vengeance, and then now we're here. So,
and it seems like it's over. But my thing is, if it's not over, now it doesn't. Now it's not free anymore. So you really have to.
Well, I wonder
position
how
ourselves.
That will go though, because like
I'm pretty sure insurance will cover some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I don't see what happened 3 years ago happening exactly like it happened, right? Like, we got shut down immediately. I remember picking Earl up from school, and they were like, oh, they're not coming back. We had to go back and get in this line to get not COVID. They were giving out phone tablets for them to do their work and do Zoom.
Oh, the kids.
Yeah, and I just remember, like, everything just happening so fast, right? And then there was no vaccine. And we had to stay in. Then there was a vaccine, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, so, but like if it happened again, right?
Yeah.
Then would that like alleviate lines? Because it's not free anymore. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It might alleviate.
Yo, your cat is funny as hell. Like she literally just, I feel like took her paw and was like, and just hit the door.
I feel like she did. I could let her out, but I don't really want to because she's acting wild.
That's hilarious, yo. That's hilarious.
Anyway, just wanted to put that out there, guys. Watch that COVID news, okay?
Yeah, because I ain't trying to have that. I ain't trying to even deal with that no more. I remember having to go to the store early in the morning to get stuff that they ran out of, and then they only let you have one, and they
my God, that was so irritating.
I told you about the lady. I had to dime somebody out. This old lady, I don't know. She had all of the Clorox wipes in her. Well, she didn't have all of them. Okay, we got there when the store first like opened because you had to get there before they opened.
You couldn't get no Clorox wipes.
Standing in line. They open the door, everybody beelines back to where the Clorox wipes were, whatever. I'm like 3, 4 people back. By the time I get up there, I don't know how little bit they put out, but this lady had 2. So I was like, okay, they said 1 per person. So either I'm going to wait for the lady at the register to tell her. I was like, nah, anybody could get it. I was like, excuse me. I was like, is she supposed to have 2 bottles of Clorox wipes?
Wait, did she hear you?
Oh, I was right there. I was like, and it was like, oh, she went up to her, she's like, oh, ma'am, you can only have a limited one. She's like, do you need this? I was like, yes, I do. Thank you. And so I remember going out to the car, and she was just like burning a hole in the side of my face. And I was like, your mother, like,
yeah, like,
sorry, lady. Anyway,
listen,
I don't want to deal with that no more. I don't. So I hope this is over.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, but that was rude of that lady.
She probably still cusses me out to this day, like.
Oh my gosh! No, we've also been in some other situations where people try to take parking spaces and things like this, and it never turned out well.
Yeah, I heard that story one day.
Okay, so last week, before we address the topic that we're going to address later, just to circle back on and close out, we wanted to talk about reality shows, reality dating shows, to be exact, and what our fascination and love of them is about.
Yes.
And so we talked about a couple of reality shows and a couple of dating shows. So Real Housewives of Atlanta is back on. We're going to get into that in a second. But like, as far as like reality shows on a general basis.
Like, what keeps you watching?
Okay, so it's a few things. Okay, so everybody get out your panties. It's a few things. Number one, especially with watching stuff like The Housewives, it's so interesting to me to see the situations that they be in. Now, I know some of the stuff with like other shows, it's not like staged, but like they knew about it beforehand. But and so that could be the case everywhere, but it's so funny to me, or so interesting to me to see people's real reactions to things, like real time, and like knowing you're being filmed, knowing that
you have the power to say whatever the hell you want to right now. You can shock the world if you want to or not.
But still being in a position of feeling your adrenaline pumping.
Yeah, or being put on the spot or whatever. But like, think about it though, like when you're watching the show, it's easy to forget that the camera crew is there. But somebody had to set up for the arrival of the cast or whatever, or be there. So in a sense, it is staged. But I think the reality part of the show is just like you said, the fact that you don't know what this person might say once those cameras start rolling. Yeah. That is the reality part that I look forward to see, body language, verbal reaction or whatever, just to see what the reaction is. So it's not even about like, oh, I know we're going to have this party. No, we know this is going to be a party. We know everybody's going to be there.
Yeah.
Then they get the conversations beforehand. And these people know that these things are being filmed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like part of them knows they're being shady. So, I mean, to an extent, they're kind of playing, even though they're themselves, they're kind of playing characters.
Yeah.
But
it's so fun to watch.
Listen, we haven't gotten to it yet, but Candy said she was about to headbutt a bitch.
Now, I saw a little bit of that clip, and I understood where she was coming from.
But I thought to myself, Candy does look like she headbutts bitches.
Even the way she said it looked like a little mini headbutt.
Why is that your thing to say? Like, that has never, ever come up in my mind as something that I was going to say. I was in the kitchen and I heard it and I said,
it's stick my head out. Now that I think of it,
I just stick my head out the kitchen part and be like, what did she say? What are you feeling that you feel like you're gonna take your head and you go ahead and
okay, so here's what that says. Viscerally, like on the spot, I would think that means you're in my space. You should never be close enough to a person where they could possibly headbutt you. That's the rule. And so obviously that's viscerally, that's my reaction and emotion to watching you would have something like that. Like, I'm not even threatened by anyone who would say that to me, because they're going to be at least 3 feet away. And it's like, you can't headbutt me. I'm going to see you coming. No, but if you're in someone's face,
I have to know, like, what is it? What is that feeling? Look, I don't want to know. I don't know. I'm never going to take my body and hit your body to hurt you. No. I just was like, that shit was funny to me, because I said, they all dressed up at a Harlem Nights party. Everybody cute, okay, yeah, somebody there is going to get on your nerves, but like, you really about to headbutt a bitch?
I mean, she obviously was so adrenaline filled.
And I can't wait to see why, though. I mean, I don't feel like I would ever.
I don't think I would suggest that either. No. But who knows what that was about. Anyway, I haven't watched a lot of the show.
Voice got deep and everything. It was wild.
But you remember, it reminded me of that time when they were back. Because I'm about to start watching them again. We talked about this. We're going to start watching them again. Because I remember that time back when Nene was on there and they was in that hotel room and people got into a fight. And she was talking about how she was going to drag somebody.
Was Jennifer there too by that time? No, she was on Basketball Wives. I'm in another whole show.
I'm thinking about the time. It was Nene, Kenya, her friend, the dude, light-skinned dude. He was like her production assistant or something like that. Or maybe, I don't know. He was working on casting for her for some other stuff. But anyway, point is.
You talking about with Candy?
Apollo was there.
Don Juan.
No, not Don Juan. I'm talking about Kenya's.
Oh, Kenya's. Okay.
So they were all in this hotel room, and they were like, all dressed like in pajamas or like lingerie or whatever, because it was sort of like a couples thing. Mm-hmm. It was the same season that they were. The lady called Todd an opportunist, and they were saying how like the guy he actually played in Christopher Williams. He played in New Jack City.
Okay.
Or he is a singer, I guess. Yeah. So. He was on that season, and so they were all sitting around. I can't believe you don't remember the season.
I do not. What
they
season
were all
was that?
sitting
You
around.
know, this is like season 14,
before Apollo.
14 or 15.
This was before Apollo got locked up. So, and Apollo was locked up, I feel like, for like 8 years.
Apollo's on couples retreat as well. Yo, your cat is still banging. She's funny. Well, I'm scared to let her out at this point because she might hear this. Y'all hear that? I don't know if y'all can hear that. Man. It sounds like somebody knocked on the door. Like her cat is funny. But yeah, so Apollo is on couples retreat, and you know what else? They also talked about Cherie and Martell came and introduced themselves as a couple on this first episode. Now I don't know if they're still together because I saw a post about 6 months ago that said something about they stopped following each other or whatever. But Apollo and Martell Holt.
Oh,
I mean, sorry, not Apollo. People that just said though, Apollo and Martell. Sheree and Martell. They came out as a couple on this episode, but I saw something earlier, like in the year, that they had stopped following each other. So who knows? But I didn't ever believe it anyway because they just look unauthentic to me. I don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Even they're both, nice looking people. They got nice physiques, but I just don't see chemistry between them. It just looked like
it didn't look like to me.
It just looked like he was a plus one she brought to her party, and this is just somebody that she used to fill in or whatever.
It didn't really seem like
on his show, and he's on Real Housewives, so that's funny. Anyway, I said all that to say that.
I guess he's bringing. I guess people like to see that.
Thanks, bro.
People like to see that.
Yeah, but like, what if it's fake? Why do we want to see it? I don't know. So people would. I'm not accusing them of this.
It's
just, I don't know. Can you help me figure it out though?
Here are the reasons why that would be.
Go ahead.
I'm not accusing them of this, but the reasons that it's good to be in a relationship like that, it's like for publicity reasons. Like you're more apt to get like photographed together. Like people might not care about. They would care about seeing either of them out, but it's like the fact that you join forces.
It's controversial.
Like, it's salacious, right? It's like something to talk about. So it's
so awkward looking to me. It's like, I don't know if you've ever seen any people that are together, like two people that are together, and you like,
they don't belong together.
Not even they'll belong together, but kind of like, what? Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how I looked at them. I wasn't even like, excuse you. I didn't believe it. I don't know. So
I'm sorry. I'm tearing this up.
You good.
There's more if you like.
You good. I did it.
Anyway, so yeah, I don't know much about the Real Housewives of Atlanta because I watched some of it, but I fell asleep.
So okay, here's what I'll give you the recap that I can remember. Okay. So Sonya, you know who Sonya is? Her and her husband are on there. I think they joined a couple of seasons ago. She's from Jamaica. Her family's from Jamaica.
I think I know who that is. And they was talking about her parties.
Yeah, because her first party when she got there was low budget, I guess, according to them. But her husband is turning 40, and so she was throwing a Harlem Nights party, and so they were all kind of skeptical, but it ended up, being a good look. So that was that. But she has her whole family. It's like 10 people, 8 or 10 people living in her house, including it's like 3 kids and 7 adults or something like that. But it's like her sister's there, her mother's there, her dad's there, and she basically employs all of them at certain points, right? So they help her. But she butts heads with her sister because her sister says she doesn't have any boundaries. So they kind of got into a little argument, but it wasn't really like an argument like we would see. It was like you could just tell they know how to, her sister. Well, they know how to argue without it looking like a big ass fight. You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch. You'll see what I mean. But they butted heads. Sheree is coming on with Martell. But even when people ask her about it, like, oh, how's everything going? It's just like this. I just don't see any like light up in her eyes or nothing like that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, they just seem like an odd couple. Like, it's nothing wrong with either one of them, but like as far as like for them to try to be together, but it just seems like an odd couple. So anyway, so that's that part. And then Candy's having issues with Todd because he's working on movies and she's not getting time, and he's trying to. It was a situation where he's trying to make it seem like he it was her fault that something happened, but like they planned something on a certain date, and when she suggested a date, he said, "Oh, well, I can't move this. I got to do something on this day." And so she was like, "Okay," but then the movie people called or something, or somebody rescheduled it, and it was like, "Okay, to move it." You know what I'm saying? She was like, "So you try to make it seem like it was me," but she kind of cried over it or whatever. So they're having some issues. You know, Marlo has her 2 nephews that she adopted. I think she adopted.
Yeah, I heard something about that whole scenario. Yeah.
And then so yeah, after that I don't recall anything right now. We'll keep going.
I do remember hearing a little bit of like Martell and Sheree kind of interacting. It even sounded
so he had like a photo shoot or something, and he came over, I guess still dressed in whatever he wore to the photo shoot, like the tuxedo or whatever, and then she was in workout clothes, and so she was like, he was like, "Oh, you've been working out?" She was like, "I was waiting for you." And he was like, "Oh," she said, "Oh, I'm gonna do more than one workout or something like that, or I can do 2 workouts." But she was waiting for him, and so then they kind of talked, and then it just
seemed real brotherly or something.
Yeah, I don't
like, and I didn't buy it.
It was like it
didn't feel like they were.
It's just I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't either.
It was just odd. That's the word I use. I think that's a good word. But no, but it was good. It was an entertaining episode to me. Probably because I haven't watched that season in like Atlanta in a long time.
Yeah.
So, but it's probably gonna be interesting though. So that came on, and what else were we talking about? What else was I going to say something about last week?
You were going to talk about Love Village. You were going to talk about Love and Hip Hop, the new cast, and and there was this. I guess this was called Love Village. It was like a.
So I have to tell you about that,
okay?
Because y'all might want to start watching it. You good, James? So what happened was. What happened? Okay, let's talk about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, because what they're doing is it's like I don't even want to say a reboot, but basically they're having like the cast, I guess it's the current cast or current and past cast, right?
Yeah.
But it was other people from other seasons, so it's just Love and Hip Hop cast, right?
Okay.
They have them reviewing season 1 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Okay. So, like, you got like Lil Scrappy giving his commentary. They're all in different groups. You know what I mean? So this is the part where it's kind of weird. So, like, they're rewatching the episode, they're replaying the episode. But what's new is that you get to see what the cast says now about what happened back then. And so back then, remember what was happening was Jocelyn was just coming on the scene with Stevie J, right? She was meeting Mimi and trying to act like she wasn't fucking Stevie. And so that whole thing was there. And then you had Carly Red, who looks totally different right now. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get in the studio with Stevie, which never happened. So then it's like a bunch of stuff about Stevie. You got all the guys like Ray J and Peter Guns and Rich Dollars commenting on him being a creep. But they all the creep squad. It was interesting. So like I said, it's not anything new as far as the show, but the new part is them. It's like a docu-series kind of thing, I guess, because it's just the current cast rewatching it. So I guess they're not even filming this year. I don't know, but it's worth a watch because you get to see, like I said, what they're saying, especially.
Are they going over one season, or are they watching all of their different seasons in mashups? Like they're watching Hollywood, Atlanta, New York.
This is only Atlanta, but they have some other people
that are commenting it.
Like what season was because Peter Guns was on New York, right? Mm-hmm. On Love and Hip Hop New York. Yep. So they were commenting on it. So they just have, I guess, regular anybody from a Love and Hip Hop cast can comment on this. But like this is the first season that they've done it, because also they moved from, what did they used to play Love and Hip Hop on?
VH1.
They moved over to MTV. It's part of the Tuesday takeovers, because they went over to MTV and started Couples Retreat. So, but you know, it wouldn't be anything to, I guess the only thing to review on that show would be what, like something funny or interesting that the cast would say now about like the whole thing with Lil Scrappy and Erica and his mother, when she was telling her what she needs to do, and all that is in episode 1.
Were they together on there? Erica and Scrappy?
They were, yeah, because she was trying to remember. Mama D was trying to tell her that how she needed to treat Scrappy and stuff like that. And so yeah, so it is interesting just to see what the cast will have to say now. But like I said, it's not really review worthy unless they say something or bring something back up to me. I don't know. I have to see. I'm gonna keep watching and see. But because
you're basically just reacting to them reacting, or you're reacting to what they're reacting to.
Exactly. So it was interesting to see how Mimi felt. So yeah, you should watch it and see what you think about. You can tell she still kind of felt some type of way about it, but I would too, because that was they was just playing in her face. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so give that a watch. But I have to tell you about Love Village, okay? Because I don't even know how I found the show. I really don't. I was looking around. Like, sometimes I just go to Netflix. It was one of the things I was suggesting to you. Well, yeah. Like, I just go around to Netflix sometimes and be like, let me see. Let me see what's on there good. Because have y'all watched The Circle on Netflix? Have we watched The Circle? No. Okay, so let's talk about this really quick. This wasn't even a part of my plan, but listen, I already told Craig and Earl, and they just disregarded my suggestion, but one of you guys will pick it up. The Circle is like this, it's a social challenge. Basically, it's about popularity. Okay. You get 10 people come into this apartment building that they never meet each other face to face until whoever makes it at the end. Right, so they all come in, they each get their own apartment, and then they got to do like these little challenges against each other. Like sometimes they may have to dress up a mannequin, or they may have to make a cake or picture. But the thing is, you could go in there being whoever you want to be. So you could go in there as Faith, but you could also go in there as James. So everybody thinks that you're a man and not you. Like your whole thing is the social game, right? You're trying to be the most popular. So
you're in a social.
Nobody can see you though.
Wait a minute. So it's
I mean, obviously we as the crowd can see, but nobody of your opponents can see you. The way they talk to you is through a group chat. So it's like a social experiment. So they don't know who's who. You just talk. You could come in with your picture, but you could also come in with my picture and say whatever you want to say about me. Like, okay, what do I want? You know what I mean? Just anybody or whoever's there. Whoever is, like, if you get picked to go on the show, you have to decide if you're going to go as yourself, if you're going to, like, if your avatar, because you basically make like a profile, like a Facebook page when you get there. Okay. And you get pictures of whatever you're going to be. You get, not get pictures, but you will have those, whatever pictures you want in there will be in there. So if you wanted to be, a hippie old lady, a hippie old Indian lady, or whatever, you could be that. You just would have those pictures, and you would put a little blurb about who you are in your profile. And then you would interact as that person and try to gain the popularity, because what happens is they have to all vote on who's the most popular. So like you'll have separate private chats with people, alliances are being formed, because sometimes people will be like, that's a catfish. And then you might talk to a person trying to introduce yourself and they tell you that they think somebody's a catfish and you're, but then you also, that person also could be lying to you. So it's really interesting or whatever. It's like a competition, but it's interesting to see who makes it to the end, because if you don't gain popularity, then you end up getting kicked off. But then they have all these twists in it where some of the people that get kicked off get thrown back in without the other people knowing it. It's just interesting. Like there was a lady who went on as, I'm not even going to tell you that. I'm going to let you see it, because there's a bunch of seasons of it. Don't ruin it for me. And the seasons are really good. So anyway, so watch The Circle. But anyway, I'm surfing around on Netflix. And I'm like, okay, what is this? It was something called Love Village. And so the front of the picture, the thumbnail that they had was just like this, greenery, and it was this house, and it was all these people standing with their backs, and they were holding hands, walking to the thing, or maybe they weren't holding hands and they were just walking towards the house or whatever. But you could only see their backs, but you could tell they were all like Japanese or whatever, right? Okay. So I'm like, what is this? Now, first of all, whenever I turn something on and it has captions, I got to think about, do I want to sit here and watch TV, or do I want to be able to, not have to pay attention to the screen the whole time? Yeah. So I was like, okay, fine. The episodes were only 30 minutes. So I was like, okay, let me check this out or whatever. Let me see, because I like reality shows. So especially love reality shows. So basically, the premise of the show is it's for it's for singles that are 35 and up.
Okay.
They're looking for the last love of their life. So they have to come to this place. It's 8 of them, 4 men and 4 women. They have to come to this house in the middle of nowhere, it seems like, and it has like a garden outside or whatever. And they have to get to know each other. The house is completely bare bones, even to the point where they have to clean the house up. Right?
Okay.
It's like this old Japanese house, this big old Japanese house. So they have to clean the place up. It's dusty in there. It's spiders in there. It's a bird that they made a nest in there, and that the bird stayed there throughout like 3 episodes. I was like, they just want to sit there and eat with the bird up in the corner. But anyway, so they have to work together to build the house up and make it livable. They get $219 a month per person to buy like daily essentials and stuff like that. They have a stove. And they have a couple of other things, but they don't have everything. Because, like, they try to make a pizza, and they only had, like, they had to do it in a wok. They were creative and did it in a wok. But they have to eat the vegetables and stuff from the garden, and they can get extra stuff, too, with the money that they have. They had to build tables. They had to lay floors. They do have a carpenter that comes to help them do it. But basically, they just kind of got to talk to each other to figure out if they're a match. And the interesting thing to me was how I'm going to point out 2 things because I don't want to give away everything, right? But it's interesting to me how the men are proving their worth by what they can do, whether they can cook and whether they can build stuff or move stuff a lot and stuff like that. Like, that's interesting. And the women are pretty much non-confrontational. I mean, they're not pushovers, but it's interesting how they react when the male does something that they don't like and how they get that done. Like, it's just interesting. Like, maybe I was the only one that thought it, but when you watch it, you have to let me know. So, okay, so they move in. They have to work together to get the house together. Now, if they do feel like they found...
Where is this?
It's on Netflix, yeah. If they do find the love of their life, there's a bell in the back of the house that they got to go ring. Whoever rings the bell has to, after they ring the bell, they go to the front of the house. Everybody comes out and they profess their love to the person, right? The person has to respond by the next day, the next morning. Everybody comes outside. The person who rang the bell got to stand out there and wait for the person to give their response. And so that is crazy because I didn't think it was going to be as awkward as I thought as it ended up being. I was like, oh awkward. Shit. I was like, dang, everybody. And then at the end, well, I'm not going to give that away. Okay. So, because I only watched 4 episodes, so it's not the end, but like what I was about to say. So if the person doesn't leave with them, like if their response is no, then that person who rang the bell has to leave by themselves. And then another
out there.
Yes. And then another person joins the cast. But if the person says yes, they leave together, right? And then somebody else comes in. But, it was just really, really interesting. It was actually good. Now, I will say there are subtitles, but there are 2 hosts that are hosting the show that also are not speaking English, but they're translating it into English so you hear English. And they're like reviewing the show, so it was not awkward, but it was an interesting, way to do the show. Like, I don't know why they just didn't show the show, but I think they needed somebody to be talking in English while it was going, because they're also talking in the background. Like, you can hear the tones of their voices and stuff like that. Like, you can tell who got a deep voice and who don't. But it was just interesting. It's all kinds of people. It's a couple of 60-year-olds on there. It's like, I heard one of the dudes, and this is why I say that the women are sort of non-confrontational, because there was a point in there where one of the men, you could hear them in the background saying, you got heavy makeup on today or something like that. And I was like, what? That would never go over with just a ha-ha with nobody I know, because that's rude to say. I feel like it's rude to say.
It is, but
they just laughed it off or whatever. So, but it was good. Even if you don't like to watch stuff with subtitles or in different languages, like, it was still palatable.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the episodes are 30 minutes. I was like, let me just try it. And then I just had to keep watching after that, because I was like, how's this going to go? So the thing that I was noticing is, like, there's no glitz and glam. There's these people are being their true selves because there's no glitz and glam. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing. Nobody on set to do nobody's makeup. There's none of that. Okay. And so I'll just give you a little bit since this
is doing like confessionals and stuff.
They're doing confessionals, and the confessionals are hilarious. But then I had to wonder, are they really telling me exactly what these people are saying? Because I don't speak this language, and I could just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just had to trust that they are. But if they are,
this is what they're saying.
It's funny because they have some funny people in there. So another thing is the women are looking for sexual compatibility before whatever else. They feel like they can, the sexual compatibility, and then everything else should fall into place, or they can deal with everything else. The men are looking for women who they're not looking at their looks. Put it like that.
They're looking for the quality of like the
Absolutely.
service, the wife service.
Absolutely. And one of them even said that. One, not like that, but yeah, basically. And so that was something. It was just different. That
is interesting.
Yeah, it was just different. And then just the way the men act, it's just really different. Like, these aren't like, you know, our normal reality TV shows that they're watching. But then I was like, okay, they got on board. They said, you know what? They like to watch reality, love TV shows.
Yeah. I guess we are.
Let's get in the game.
Yeah.
So
I guess we are the ones with all the reality shows. Like, I'm sure, I know we
got a reality show for everything.
But
it was good because it's not
probably like,
our reality shows.
This is where it all started, guys.
Glitz and glam, even if it's a low budget show, right? Mm-hmm. They still try to make it look like, you know, sparkly and shiny. This is not that, okay? And I just thought it was refreshing and interesting to watch because I don't want to tell you. I want us to talk about it again after you've had a chance to watch a couple episodes, because I don't want to tell you what happened. I want you to be just as, like, you know, intrigued as I was.
Well, I'm glad because I'm gonna go watch it, and I feel like I still have. This is probably gonna even expound my idea on why I love reality shows.
I think
and dating shows.
I think so because when have I ever watched anything with subtitles and in a different language and watched it all the way through or more than once? I didn't watch the shows more than once, but I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I didn't watch the shows more than one. Oh shit. I don't watch the shows more than once, but I definitely it was only 4 episodes available for me to watch, and I definitely watched all 4 episodes. So it might be more than now, but
I'm gonna look for it. It's on Netflix. I wrote it down and everything.
Yes.
Now we might as well get into our final topic, which is we're circling back on our Eboni K. Williams coverage, which is not even really coverage, guys.
Yeah, no, I know.
At this point, we just want to wrap this conversation.
People have talked about it from the rooter to the tutor. Okay, I've seen some really good shows about it.
Okay, tell me about them.
I saw The Plainest Jane did a couple of good call-in shows. Jessie Wu had some things to say, and then she also went on Little Black Books platform, and they had a great conversation. I suggest everybody look at that conversation, especially if you're a Black woman, because I just loved her authenticity and how she was transparent about herself, and she kind of spoke to a stuff that a lot of Black women could probably relate to. So that was bomb. What was the other lady's name? She had Sister Locks. Dr. Shauna had a good conversation about it. Anyway, there's a bunch of good conversations that came about, but we just want to, I guess what.
My thing is, I noticed that the conversation became the topic and not just what she said anymore. Mm-hmm. So now we're talking about the rights of a person in a conversation. It just became a topic in a topic. And there's so many
several topics in a topic. Like, it was so many angles.
And it was so funny because you had mentioned when we talked about this the other day that you went to go look and see what people were Googling or whatever. And before all of this popped off, she wasn't getting her name wasn't getting searched. So
I was doing some other work on Google Trends, and I don't know, I got sidetracked. And I was like, let me Google Eboni K. Williams, because at the end of the day, I know that everybody, or the majority of people who are in the kind of mix of what's going on in the media, right? They know that there are certain things that will get or that could cause or have the ingredients to produce a viral moment. And I know that Ebony knows that, and I know that Yana knows that, but I don't know. I was doing some other searches on Google Trends, and something made me put in Eboni K. Williams' name. And so I put it in, and I looked at it over like 30 days, 90 days, or whatever. Well, it was a long line over the last 12 months until that happened, and there was a huge spike, of course, because everybody was searching it and talking about it. And I think that it just took, I don't know, like...
It took another direction.
Yeah.
Because, listen, as much as people are titling their stuff, like, would you date a bus driver and all this, it's really not about that.
Right.
It's really not about that anymore, because why would we care if she would date a bus driver? It's not about that at all, my friends.
And I feel like she honestly was asking Iyanla for some Iyanla advice.
Yeah.
And I think that was missed, because it was just the conversation that they had. If you watch the full conversation, was a decent conversation. I really think she was asking Iyanla, that advice or whatever, and Iyanla knows how to recognize a moment. I don't know. Listen, that's all I'm going to say about that part, because this is my analogy that I had. You have people who like salad with their dressing on the side. Then you have people who like salad with a little bit, salad dressing with a little bit of salad sprinkled in. I mean, those two people, or those two groups of people, are going to have thoughts about the other. But I'm not going to judge nobody for however they eat their salad. So, like, her not wanting to date a bus driver is really, not even anything to get upset over. So it's like, we aren't talking about would she date a bus driver. We're not weird, because I'm not, but she's being kind of attacked. And I'm going to take the kind of out. She's being attacked for having a preference. So, I don't know if the salad thing ties in, or if you understand what I'm saying, but it's just like, that's the way you like to eat it. And why should anybody be able to come and say, how dare you not do it this way?
Dare you like it like that? You should like it like this. And, it's just, it's unfortunate in many ways to me, because, she didn't do anything, in my opinion, she didn't do anything, like, negative to someone. She didn't make fun of somebody or say something, what do you call it, like a slum or a disrespectful word towards somebody. So it's wild to me. Now, I will say this. When she initially responded, it wasn't genuine. Now that I've seen that video you showed me, the Mel Robbins joint, I realized that, like, it was like you're saying 5 and holding up 3. It's like, that doesn't even match.
Yeah.
Like, that's not your intention.
I think that was
actually my whole issue with Winter on that show before she started dating somebody, because it was just like, I didn't like the way she would be telling something serious or sad and be smiling. And it's like, what are you doing? That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, I think she did. I think that was a misstep. I think she should have waited. You know what I'm saying? When she did the response to the backlash, I think she had the conversation with Iyanla. I think she should have waited on that initial response, because when she did that, it became something more than just the question, because she added context to it by saying all the things that she said.
Yeah, and she was saying that she didn't care, but she was saying it in a way that obviously you do care. And it sounds weird the way you're saying it. Like, I don't even care. And like, in the voice, I think the tone that she used was also a little off-putting, because I was trying to figure out, how did this go left? And so when I went back and looked at her response, and then I saw her defend herself. Listen, I had already seen the DJ Envy joint, but when I went back and looked at it again, I was like, she had several points in that conversation, but again, they were not receiving it. So it was like, I think she said one thing in there like several times, like, and like what she meant by it. And then, but I can understand though how delivery can be off-putting or uncomfortable or something like that. But it was just a weird situation. I will say though that she may have made things worse at certain points, but she wasn't wrong, guys. Like, she was telling her preference, and I got where she was coming from. But it's like, that shouldn't be a unwelcome. Like, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be.
See, but that's why I go to the other side and I say this. You know, that part we covered that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, she shouldn't be attacked for having a preference. But then the other side of me wearing my tinfoil hat is like, you know, when you're in media, you just know certain things are going to get traction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the response to the backlash might have just been helping get that traction going. Like, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not saying that she did it all for clicks and views, but like, hey, once you...
Everybody's Googling her now. So,
I mean, if that was the goal, it worked. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, nobody's going to change anything that she feels, right? But I don't know. That's just my little tinfoil hat part. Like, I'm always side-eyeing stuff like, are you guys serious? You know, but yeah, she shouldn't be attacked for her opinion, though. She shouldn't be attacked for her opinion. But it was very interesting to watch. So I don't know what's going to come of it. And, you know, shout out to her. Hopefully she's not still being beat up.
I hope people aren't sending her, like, people be sending.
Yeah, because the internet is crazy. And
talking about, I'm going to come and do whatever.
That's what I said the first time. Like, when you were talking about her, before I had seen her backlash, I was like, she probably was getting so many messages and had to say something. But in retrospect, knowing that she is in media, she should have known to just kind of chill for a second. But you can't tell nobody how to fight. So if you feel like somebody coached you.
Like you said, there is still the possibility that was revved up a little bit. Like, oh, we got a little smoke over there. Throw some gasoline on it.
Yeah, and we will never know. Because there's so many hands involved. Because Iyanla knew what she was doing. Iyanla knew what she was doing.
No, I didn't go back and look at that second live.
Okay. The Iyanla's live?
Yeah, I saw the grill thing, but I did not see Iyanla's.
This is why I say that about her, because she, of course, everybody's talking about it. She should too. She did the live. The audience accused her of throwing Eboni under the bus, and she was like, that is not what she was doing. She didn't want nothing but positive energy over there. That's what it was. But I couldn't help but just kind of give her the side eye, like, but you kind of are, though. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And what was going on the channel. And it was just interesting to watch that. But like I said, Iyanla knows good TV, okay? But I don't think that this will hurt Eboni. I don't think that, you know, I think that it did. Listen, I think that it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, I think so, too. Like, they both got more Googled. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's great. That's a great moment for anybody. And I even went and looked up her book because I was like, let me see what this book is about. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy this. Like, I didn't buy it, but I have all intention to. Like, I just, you know, I was just thinking to myself, like, it's a shame that you can't say you can. It's called Bet on Black. That's her most recent joint. But it's like, why the good news about being Black in America, or something like that. That's the name of it.
Okay.
So I was looking at it. I was like, I think I'm going to buy it, at least on like Audible or whatever, so I can listen to it while I'm, you know, working out or riding around or whatever. But yeah, so we're just wrapping up on that because you said that Angela Rye and DJ Envy has some statements.
Yeah, and obviously you see how upset DJ Envy got. He took it personal. Angela Rye took it personal, and she was, you know, talking about how, you know, she has bus drivers in her family and stuff like that. And I think that is where everybody got down in the weeds. I even did it because I was just like, oh, it's ignorant to say that she wouldn't date a bus driver, which I do think that you shouldn't judge a person just by their occupation. But when I watched everything happen and all of the conversations that were being had, I got to see different points of view. And then I was just like, oh, let me zoom out a little bit. And that's where I came with the salad thing. Like, you don't go and tell nobody how to eat their salad, and you don't judge them for, like, not eating dressing on their salad or eating salad dressing with a little salad sprinkled in. Like, do what you do. And that's kind of the same thing. Like, if she wasn't Eboni K. Williams, right, and she was a man saying it, or she was a woman of another nationality saying it, would it have hit the same way? So, would she even been talking to Iyanla if she was that other person? So that's what I'm saying. Like,
you bring up a good point, but I am gonna say I was watching Fort Harriet. She had
she had good conversation.
Like, you don't care, like, people aren't generally just caring about the working class. Like, people are championing for the working class like that. Like, when's the last time you seen people protest for them? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. This is not about that. This is about, she said these words, like, you just don't think that this black woman, this uppity black woman, should have these standards and say this is where her line is. I'm paraphrasing. She didn't say it just like that. But she had a really good point, because it was like, I think that's what burns people. Because here's where the realization came from for me. I actually thought about, I wonder what bus drivers are saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ask the bus driver, hey, would you date this lady? Like, would they even know who she was?
Would they even know who she was?
Not everybody,
that,
but I'm just saying, like, if I just walked into a random bus driver, would they even care? Do we even care if a bus driver wants to date her? No, because it's not about that. It's about somebody saying something that challenged people's, I guess, security levels, to be honest with you. Because why is somebody else's preference even have a place in your,
that's what I was saying.
That's what I came affecting to. Me.
That's what I came to, because I had to zoom out though, because at first it seemed like bus drivers was the subject, right?
Yeah.
But that's not it. And so it's like, okay, then when I had to zoom out, I was like, you know what? Would it have been the same if it was somebody different?
People have been saying, in my opinion, some pretty hateful things about.
I can just imagine the comments that she got.
And so much of her business is like getting put on, like, up for review or something. Like, nobody ever committed her to putting her personal life under this telescope. And now people are like, oh, well, she's dating white men or whatever. And it's like, that does not even matter. That does not even matter.
It's not the topic at hand.
Okay. The topic. And it's like, okay.
But the thing is, the people who were trying to draw that conclusion, it came from the response and the DJ Envy show, because it seemed as if she wasn't standing on the same points that she dropped in the first conversation with Iyanla. And then you go into the backlash, and then so that is where I say sometimes you just gotta wait, right? Because you don't. Okay, so like the more you say, the more people have to work with. And so it's like her being an attorney, I feel like she's always probably careful with her words. She probably knows exactly what to say, which also leads me to realize that, like, she knew exactly how she was going to navigate through this.
I don't know if she knew exactly
how. Not like she knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But she's in media. She's an attorney. So she's very smart. She's an intelligent person. She knows analytics. She knows what's going on. She probably, like, news people probably know, okay, if we talk about this, we know what's going to happen because we know what happened last time. People are going to pick it apart. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. Yeah. As a regular person on YouTube, if a black woman comes on here and says something like that, there are some people that are waiting to pick it apart and just, break it all down. You feel what I'm saying? So on that level, I gotta think that she knows that it's gonna, these people are gonna say something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then if it happens to be more, it happens to be more. So, like, I'm not saying that she planned it to be like that, but I'm just saying that when she did the conversation and the clip came out, when she doubled down on it, that put some fuel on there.
It did. Because even in the beginning, I was gonna challenge that. Because in the beginning, she didn't even put it out there as a statement. It was asked of her spontaneously. I don't even think she saw that question coming, because at first she even hesitated.
Right. And she was like, you.
But
when it came time for the griot to pick that clip, did she have part in the approval of that? Or did she just find out, like the rest of us, that they pulled out that specific clip?
I don't know. But the response she gave back, again, odd. Okay? It was just weird. Watching her make those statements in those tones, it didn't match up. She didn't show us her hands. What's really happening? We're in the Matrix.
Oh, my God.
Like, it didn't match, though. And I kept getting this weird, uneasy feeling like, what does she mean by that? Because she's sitting there telling us how she doesn't care, but she cares. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why are you saying that like that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you probably say that out loud too.
Obviously care.
And you doing a whole video about it.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just thought that was odd. But again, when she went back and talked on the Breakfast Club, I felt like she made some really valid points that could not be disputed or really, like, it was like she just kept making point after point after point, and they kept asking her the same things over and over again. And I'm just like, we're not getting anywhere, but those are real facts. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was hard to watch some of it because I was just like, but like I said, if I hear somebody say something and I know it's going to be backlash, I got to think that she knows better than me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because she's in media. She's an attorney. So, yeah. But like I said, that's neither here nor there. These are just conspiracy theories. Like, we'll never know the true origin of how it came about, but it came out, and we shouldn't attack her for her opinion. That's just that. Like,
I second that.
I mean, I don't know if any bus drivers did any videos or not. I didn't see any, but it's not about the bus drivers.
But when people even care to watch. Right? Like, watch this video. This bus driver. See what you say. Like, nobody cares. None of you were out here, like, looking out for that guy a few weeks ago. So if he's on here making videos about Eboni K. Williams, like,
all I know is I know some good bus drivers. So, I know it's not about bus drivers, but I know some great bus drivers. I just want to put that out there. Shout out to y'all, okay? They probably were smart enough to know that it really wasn't about bus drivers.
Here's the funny thing. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was about the working class. Like, if you could just call a spade, it was about people's reaction to a Black woman saying that her standards were above, I
don't even think it goes that deep. I think it was a Black woman saying that she did like something with her. She didn't even say no, though. She said if he owns the bus. So, and if you try to be technical, it was a yes. You know what I'm saying? If he owns the bus. Yeah. She didn't say, not if this. She just, I'm reaching here, but what I'm saying is it was about her making a preference, because if she would have said no, it would have been the same thing, right? Because it
would have been, and here's my problem with that, man.
But Iyanla is the one that pressed her first.
The world is telling her that she's not able to use that as a deciding factor.
Iyanla said it first. She said that's a problem.
Who are you to tell me? And then she was open to Iyanla. She was saying, like, hey, teach me.
I think she was genuinely asking her for an answer, and I think that Iyanla wasn't. Well, I'm not going to say that, because she did tell her an answer, so to speak. She said,
and so if that's her deal, and listen. If that's her deal, that's her deal. I don't understand why people were so upset by it. And really what it meant to me is like clapback. It was noise. It was rustlings and rumblings of people saying that that's unacceptable.
You wouldn't understand
people
it because
pushing back, saying that she can't say that. That's not your choice to make. You can't do that.
That's what I'm saying. So wrong. As a woman, okay, you wouldn't understand that, because you're not over there trying to figure out, or you're not over there getting your ego dinged and trying to figure out how you can break that person down. Now, I'm not saying everybody does this, but there are a group of people who wait for Black women specifically to say stuff so that they can break it down or break her down, right?
Right.
And so, like I said, she should be able to have her opinion. And I just want to know, how would it have gone if she was somebody else of another gender, or if she was somebody of another nationality? Like, would it have gone the same? And would she even have been talking to Iyanla Vanzant? You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, my thought is that Iyanla knew what the hell she was doing. Those people, and not everybody, so I hope nobody takes offense to this, but like, she's closer to no, she's not closer to grandma's age. She's close to your mother's age, right? And
who, Iyanla?
Yeah. She's yeah.
Okay.
Because she's what? Is she 70? How old is Iyanla? Iyanla got to be almost 70 or 70. But my point is, right?
I'm gonna ask Siri.
There's a difference in the way that they think about stuff, and even me as a 46-year-old, the men that were out there back then is people evolved. The women have evolved, right? It's different. It's not the same. So, I respect that opinion, but I feel like she set Ebony up. I'm just gonna go out and say it. Y'all knew what she was doing, okay? Ebony might have known. God. Ebony might have known too. She's in media. She's an attorney. They know what the hot topics are and what salaciousness will do, or whatever. But yeah,
she's 69.
She's 69 years old. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know good TV. She know what she's doing. She knew what she was doing. She got the tone of voice. She got the pauses. She just, she knew what she was doing. Okay. And then she went and had a live afterwards. And the people thought that she was scolding Ebony. So you guys get in the comments below. You let us know what you think. What's your opinion? Are we done with this? Has it run its course? But I don't know. Check out some of those conversations I mentioned before. Jessie Wu had some good things to say. She did a live with Little Black Book. That was a great conversation. Dr. Shauna had a good conversation about it. The Plainest Jane had several good call-in shows about it, and her commentary about it was great as well. Ish J Dub had good commentary about it as well. Shout out to Ish J Dub. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, like I said, I'm finished with it now. I'll wait to see, what else comes from it. But
that's all I have to say about that too. Yeah, next week we're gonna come back. I'm gonna watch Love Village.
Watch Love Village because
I'm gonna watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking that, well, you probably didn't watch New Jersey like that, but I think they're back too. So yeah, I'm about to start watching Real Housewives.
All right, I'll look into it because I remember when it first started coming on and I was into it, but after they started getting so many seasons, I just picked Atlanta was my favorite, and I don't really think I watched any other.
Did you see
I watched Potomac too. I watched Potomac and I watched Atlanta. I think I watched a little tiny bit of New York. Of Real Housewives of New York, but there's a whole bunch of other ones too. Like they have the girls trip. They have Dubai. Have you seen the Dubai season?
I haven't.
Okay, those yeah, that was interesting too.
I haven't seen the girls trip. I haven't been watching. It's so funny because ever since we cut cable and went to streaming all this, platforms, it's like some things I used to watch. They just got lost because now I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch
everything I can on YouTube. I watch food so much stuff. YouTube. I look at news. I look at drama. I look at.
It's like you can find exactly what you want to watch. You can find exactly what you want to watch. And when something is programmed for you, it's not.
And I got mine set up so sweet right now.
It's not going to hit on what you really.
The algorithm that I'm in right now.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! And it's crazy because I watch certain things throughout the day. But somehow my TV is not connected to the search on my phone or whatever. Oh. So, on my iPad. So when I go, everything back there is like all positivity. Kyle Cease, Joe Dispenza,
yes.
David Shands, Donnie Wiggins. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a whole bunch of different, interview style, positive stuff. Learn this, learn that, but. I'm happy with the algorithm.
Yes.
The algorithm and the way it's coming up with my recommends on that particular show on that TV. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Hey, Blondie Monique. What's up, lady?
Hey, Blondie.
Okay, so yeah, that hopefully we're done with the Eboni K. Williams thing.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah.
It's dead, guys.
I'm sorry. We were talking about
people beat that joint, and it's like I saw a couple of guys out there who I don't even know who these people are.
It's more than a couple.
They were really going in. And I was like, wow, you would have thought she's like
lots. But those are the people who are waiting for the Black woman to say something so that they can break it all down. You know what I'm saying?
That's wild.
But yeah, so anyway, watch Love Village. We're gonna watch Real Housewives of Atlanta and a couple of other ones, I guess. I'm sure you'll let me know which ones.
Yes, I definitely will let you know which ones I'm watching for sure.
I'm watching Couples Retreat, and I'm reviewing that.
I'm watching Put a Ring on It too.
And Put a Ring on It, but I don't remember what happened on the last episode, so we'll talk about that one next week.
We'll talk about next week because I think I left off. Yeah, we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah. But other than that, make sure you follow us on all of our social medias. Check the description box below and follow Yes I'm a Unicorn on YouTube. Follow my my workout channel, my health and fitness channel. Okay, it's in the description below. It's by Demita Joe. If you are a woman over 40, definitely get your ass over there. Okay. Other than that, what do you have to say, sis?
That's it. Thank you so much for joining us for another conversation. We are excited about some of the new segments we have that are going to be coming soon to you. And I just want to wish everybody just love and light because it's just, it's a good time to be alive.
Every day is a good time to be alive. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, just this era of life. Like I'm so glad I wasn't born during like Jim Crow or like, you know what I'm saying? So weird messed up time. It's like
I'm not even trying to be funny, but era. If I was born in slavery,
we got Wi-Fi. I know
it'd have been like Peter. Anyway, that was not even a good joke, but I'm serious. I probably would have just been fucked up, but
listen, I'm glad to have all the technology at our fingertips. I'm glad to be, in an environment where people aren't overtly like taking rights away from other people.
They're just doing it covertly.
Yeah, listen, I'm glad that we don't. I'm even glad to live in a country where I don't have to cover. I'm not out here in these streets. Just like
I will say that. Yeah, actually. I am grateful to be here or whatever, but I could see myself living like in a tropical place.
Oh yeah, and I always want to go to like Greece,
like a place that has like fresh fruit. That's almost all year round. You know what I'm saying? And sunshine. Like
when we went down to Dominican, this is before everybody started turning up. Pulmonary, whatever, and we went down there, and the fruit and the food tasted different. Like everything tasted different. It was like, wow, like this tastes different than it tastes in the US. And it's like, are we eating that many chemically induced things? It was wild. The fruit was better. Even the meat I felt had like this certain type of, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what they're doing here. But
none of us know.
But yeah, I hear you with the tropical.
Yes, I can just see myself like, a little old lady that does yoga, Saturday morning yoga classes, and then I run my little lemonade stand on the side. I greet the tourists, and then I go sit in my mansion's backyard and just relax or whatever.
People be getting some bomb properties.
That's what I'm saying. Land is cheap in certain places too, but I mean, of course, like you wouldn't, just move all the way out there right away. But like, I feel like, especially if it's like an English-speaking place, definitely, I would keep my eyes open for that. But anyway, all right, guys, we're out of here. We're going to see you guys next week. Make sure you get in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace, y'all.
Bye, everyone.